Welcome to JK Games, the gaming podcast where we bring you the gaming news we care about.
And maybe some that we don't.
And whether you play on easy mode,
or you like a good challenge.
This is a show where we'll try to level up your gaming knowledge. That's not as good. My lips aren't wet enough.
Jerica, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. I was trying to do my mouth trumpet, but my lips were too dry.
That's also not normally how we do introduce ourselves. So I was just trying to throw you off. I was going to see what you did.
I was just going to wet my lips again.
I'm Kayla, one of your hosts.
And I'm Jerica, your other host. Welcome back to another episode of JK Games where me and Kayla tried to discuss, actually, let me rewind, where we tried to set up a live stream and figure out what we're going to talk about.
To you lovely people.
The time we said we would start would be 8 o'clock. That's really when I hopped on and decided, okay, what do you want to talk about, Kayla?
We had a plan. We had a rough draft, if you will.
We had a rough draft, and then we got the specifics nailed down. But yeah, if this is your first episode, or second, third, or what episode are we on now?
136, baby.
Or 136. Thank you for joining in on the fun.
If you've been with us since the beginning, man, it's been a wild ride. But speaking of wild, Jerica, we just had Mother's Day just came about. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are listening. Jerica's got some wildlife mothering going on in her lovely abode. That's kind of...
Yeah. It's really random. So, I guess it's not too random because, if you live in a neighborhood where there's trees, you occasionally might see a bird or two. You might occasionally get some birds that need to have babies. I guess lay eggs, and it's Mother's Day, as there's a theme here. But I have this vent. That downstairs bathroom vent goes to the outside. I guess, one of those vents when you need to, I call it the poopy vent.
The poop chute.
You turn on that vent to, I don't even know if it helps with that. I just feel like either it masks the act of pooping where no one outside can hear you, or it helps ventilate it. I use it for that, yeah, so no one can hear me pooping.
Yeah.
But maybe it helps with the smell. I don't know, and getting the air to move. Regardless, that we have not been able to use that vent for probably 3 or 4 weeks because we've been hearing birds climb in that vent from the outside. And I don't want to turn that on because they've been building a nest and are like, cool. Well, we haven't heard babies until this week.
Oh,
and
no.
All I'm hearing in the kitchen, because the vent, our ceiling sort of exposed in the kitchen. So all I hear is beep, 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 beep. And the mom's in there, feeding on their...
Oh,
so yeah, your dog liked that sound too.
She did.
But yeah, I got some baby birds. I got some footage.
Cute.
Maybe I'll put that up on our Twitter or Instagram account so people can see it. See the baby birds that have made a home in my bathroom vent. So
it's a blessing and a curse, I'm sure.
It's cute, but it is pretty. It was cute for the first few times. Now it's every 10 minutes they're getting fed and just chirping and making so much noise. You hear the...
Well, the good news is they grow up pretty fast. They grow up so fast. They'll be out. They'll probably be out before you know it. Well, we have a lot of things to cover today. So let's, we got to start out with a little housekeeping. If you're new here, that's just how it goes. Got to put on our loadout. Got to suit up. Beep, beep. Beep,
oh, yeah. I'm zipping. Zipping it up.
Zip it up. So make sure, if this is your first time listening, go ahead and follow us over on Instagram and Twitter. We update there when we're going live. An estimate, if you will, of when we're going live. Sometimes it just, life happens. It gets a little out of whack, but we're happy you're here either way. JK Games Podcast on essentially everything, Instagram and Twitter. We ask you guys questions, which today we're going to include some of y'all's responses in the episode. And you can also follow us on Twitch. We're live right now. If you're watching us live, hello. If you're listening after the fact, we do also have live episodes that you can join in and give feedback. We love seeing you guys active in the chat and love talking to you guys. makes it more of an interactive experience. Then we also upload the videos of those live episodes on our YouTube, which is also JK Games Podcast. You can always check out it out there. Jerica has some visuals for us today. Those are always nice to go along with the episode.
Yes.
So thank you, Jerica, for getting that set up. Impressive editing skills before the episode. I really wish you guys could have seen that live in action.
It's like I definitely like plugged myself into some kind of matrix, and like I don't know, I didn't even, apparently you bit off your finger or something, and I didn't even notice.
I did. I was like, oh, I don't know what I guess I was nervous about something. I was chewing on my fingernails, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm bleeding. And Jerica's just going. Also, hello in the chat, Vilo's PI. Haven't seen you in the chat before. Welcome to this chaos. We're normally also equally this chaotic, so don't expect anything less moving forward.
We're never on time. So if you want to follow a show and listen to us, just know it's gonna be like 10, 15 minutes later.
It's a new experience every time. But with that being said, if you want to email us with any of your concerns, questions, comments, punctuality agreements, jkgamespodcast@gmail.com. And don't forget to leave us a review on whatever platform you're listening on. If you watch on the YouTube, so leave us a little comment. That's helpful as well. But yeah, that's all we got for our loadout. We're going to go ahead and start out. And again, if you are in the chat and you're new, we lay out our episodes in 3 different parts. We have easy mode, where we talk about what we've been playing, what we've been doing. Today, we have an announcement that's really cool. So get your bootstraps pulled up for that. That's going to be exciting. We have our normal mode, where we talk about news. We have a good bit to talk about this week. Some weird things happen in the news this week, along with the PlayStation showcase, which we're getting.
Oh my God.
Jerica predicted it. Amazing.
Well, I didn't predict it. I'm sorry if I'm taking all the credit. You can give me the credit, Kayla.
I'm giving it to you.
There is a source on Twitter that was pretty spot on, and I'll tell you, I love when this person tweets. Jeff Grubb. If you don't follow him, you should follow him on Twitter. He's got some insider scoops. And he's usually, I feel like every time he's said something,
the scoops
pretty spot on. So anytime he says anything about PlayStation, I'm paying attention because I'm ready. But yeah, it's real. It's happening.
My soul is ready. My soul is ready.
It's been so long.
That's going to be our expert mode today, which our expert mode is our main topic, what we're going to focus on for the week. So definitely get ready for that. Vilo's PI said 90 minutes of just Final Fantasy. Hey,
you never
90
know.
Minutes. That's a lot of minutes. But we are going to talk about that later, so don't worry. Alrighty. Well, easy mode, Jerica. I'm curious. Well, before we dive into some things you've been playing.
Oh.
I heard
okay,
that there's something happening. Tell me about it. What you've been doing.
So I'm gonna do something pretty cool. Long story short, so like my girlfriend's got a work conference thing in San Francisco. And
we do not live there, by the way.
I do not live there. Yeah, so we were just gonna, I was just gonna tag along. She hasn't really went anywhere cool yet. No offense, Audrey. She's been to a couple of cool places. If I was off already, I would have went. But San Francisco's definitely like, whoa, that's a cooler place, and I want to go.
Mm-hmm. That was funny.
So I emailed Greg Miller from Kind of Funny. It was just like, hey, can I just come see the studio like while I'm in town? And that was just an ask to go see the studio. But now it seems that I will be helping co-host Kind of Funny Games Daily in June, which I'm so excited for. Wow.
Yeah.
Shut up.
What the heck?
I'm telling myself to shut up. Like I have to tell myself to shut up. So it's pretty cool. So that's exciting. So if you follow them at all, or you don't know who they are, you should. They're pretty great. Definitely check them out on YouTube, podcast. Kind of Funny Games Daily is the show that I will be helping with. And I will be doing that on June 20th and 21st. So I'm doing it for 2. It turned into just like, hey, can I come see the studio? And then he's like, yes, please, if you want to help me do the show. And I was like, Yes, and I will stay all day. Let me know what else I can do.
That is so cool, Jerica. Well, congratulations. You guys, this is a big deal. I'm very excited for Jerica. So I definitely will post we'll post links whenever it's happening, because I want you guys, we would love for you guys to be there to support her.
It's going to be so silly because, like, you know, you're watching this show now, so it should be pretty interesting to see what I do on that professional looking situation.
Yeah.
So I'll try my best to do things and be excited and talk about the games the
for
best
sure.
I can.
You're going to do great. Guys, send her encouraging words. Greg Miller was actually on our podcast couple of, like, was it last year? I believe.
I guess, yeah, it was a few months ago. You could definitely go check it out on YouTube. I'm going to be really honest. I was so nervous. And then, like, Kayla had to go to Disney. So, like, it was just me, which, you know, Kayla, you know, she follows some of their content, but she really, I mean, I don't think you know a lot about Greg Miller as much, obviously, like I do.
No,
I've just been following his work
you're a much
for
bigger
while.
fan than I am. I will say that. So don't think that, like, oh, Jerica's leaving Kayla in the dust, go to San Francisco. Yeah. I am rooting for her.
But I'll be honest, like, when I did that interview with him, I was still so nervous, and my nervous level probably would have went down like 45%. We'll call it a 50% if you were there with me. You know, it doesn't have to be me talking the whole time, which is great. But no, this is, I got that little out of my system, so it should be good. You know, worst case scenario, I'll just stare at the camera, just start farting uncontrollably, because that's what happens when I get nervous. I just get really gassy. So I'll try not to.
You and Greg have the same energy. I feel like y'all play off each other really well. So, but yeah,
we'll see.
If you want a little preview, if you have no idea who we're talking about and you want to see, like, him on our episode, you should go to our YouTube and watch that. It was, I really enjoyed it. I know Jerica was like, oh no.
I was really nervous.
No.
I don't do interviewing professionally. I don't do that. So I tried my best, but this structure will be a little bit different. So we will be talking about the gaming news of the day, what's really going on in that space. So, and yeah, I'm just there to add my commentary the best I can. Hopefully there's some Destiny news, because, you know, I could talk about that all day.
Exactly. Hopefully so. I'll put it out in the universe, like, give Jerica something to talk about that she really likes.
Yeah, Destiny. Perfect.
But yeah, definitely stay tuned for that. Jerica, very excited for you. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, we'll definitely share more when it gets closer to it. At least put out the links where you can take a gander, follow, and know when it's happening. So.
Yes, we would love for you guys to go, like, to them and, like, you know, represent Jerica in their chat, like you guys do on ours.
You should go to the chat and say, please, you hold in the farts.
We'll give you something specific to say. That would be funny.
Hold in the fart.
Hold them in.
Or let them rip. You know, that might be what I do.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Very exciting. Speaking of exciting, what have you been playing this week, Jerica, this past 2 weeks?
I'm going to be honest. Here we go. So it's been a minute since I felt this way about a game. Well, this whole year I hadn't really felt this way about a game. You know, probably the closest thing was literally 2 weeks ago when I beat Burning Shores, the Horizon Forbidden West DLC. Mm-hmm. That was so good. Like, I got really giddy when I started playing that. Because really all year I've been playing a lot of Destiny. Nothing else is really, besides, you know, Resident Evil 4 remake was good. We love that. I know what to expect for Resident Evil, and it was fun. But, like, I haven't had anything just like, ooh, and I don't know.
Get you excited.
Ooh, oh. Like, yeah, and like
Milo's
where
said, clipping the farts. They're gonna clip the farts.
Thank you.
You're fitting right in.
But obviously, you know, it's what everyone's wanting to skip school for and call out of work from is to play is Tears of the Kingdom, Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Of course, I've played Breath of the Wild, and, you know, I'm going to be honest, like, when Breath of the Wild came out, Horizon Forbidden West came out at the same time. Like, they came out the same day. So I played Horizon because I'm just, you know, the little Sony pony over here. I had to play this those PlayStation games first. So I played that, and I just didn't really partake in the hype at the time.
Mm-hmm.
But I played it afterwards, and everyone might hate me for saying this, but it was great. It was fine. Fine is the wrong word to use. It was good. I enjoyed playing it. I went through it all, did all the things. I loved how open the world was. You can literally go anywhere and explore. All the shrine puzzles that was my favorite part of Breath of the Wild, was all the puzzles. But nothing, I didn't think about it much afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
People might hate on me for that.
That's okay.
It was fine. But I will say this, Tears of the Kingdom is just a whole other experience. And it's all I'm thinking about. It is all I'm thinking about. Like, I was looking forward to being home from work today, and I'm off tomorrow, and all I can think about is just getting back in there and crafting some things and running all over the place with my horse, which some of those things, yes, are in Breath of the Wild, but Tears of the Kingdom, I feel like, I could be wrong. Like I said, it's been a long time, so I haven't played Breath of the Wild since it came out. But I just, so far, playing Tears of the Kingdom, the world is larger, for one, but everywhere I go, I feel like I'm discovering something. I tweeted this last night, and I was just like, it's either around every corner I'm finding something that's like super cute and cool, or I'm finding something that's super cool and cute that's trying to kill me. And I get,
we love
like,
to see that.
Hit once and I just instantly die. Like, it is so good. I was wondering, I didn't really watch any of the trailers. I was gonna play it because I'm like, obviously, let's see what they change about it, but I wasn't following it really close. I haven't watched any of the trailers or anything. I was like, I'll just play it when it comes out.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know what the new thing was in this game. And the new, like, what do they innovate? It's like it's simple but complex, like the crafting in this game, where you can literally craft and upgrade your weapons, add different perks to them, add different perks to your arrows that you're shooting with your bow.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, I've only just scratched the surface, but there's a whole new mechanic where you can, there's a lot of new mechanics, but there's one where you can build things to get you to point A to point B. Like, I'm putting together logs to climb up to different platforms, and like, you can fuse things together and just build. You build
That's really cool.
Basically like Fortnite, I think. You build in Fortnite, right?
I've heard some of it compared to Scribble Knots a little bit. Did you ever play Scribble Knots?
No, I never played it.
It's a Nintendo DS game where you can like fuse stuff together, like, and basically make anything.
That's what this is. Like, it's the limits are limitless,
mm-hmm.
and it's so cool it's like, when I'm trying to figure out certain puzzles in the game so far, it's almost like they'll introduce you to a thing, and then maybe a couple hours later I get to a shrine that's using said thing. And I just, because I've been playing a certain other way for so long, I know this is me rambling, I sort of forgot about the last perk I got.
Yeah.
And it's just like a slap in the face of how easy it is, but it's so fun. Because, like, there's probably a few different ways. That's one thing I liked about Breath of the Wild, and you'll soon learn this too if you get through it a little bit. There's a lot of ways to do one thing, like a lot of ways to solve the puzzles, and it's just really like, that's the just creative part about it. You can just do what you want, and that's with the crafting and the building. Just is the perfect way to build on Breath of the Wild. Like, that is what took it to it has taken it to the next level and beyond, and it is awesome. I love it so far. It is my game of the year so far.
That's awesome.
All I can think about. All I'm going to do tomorrow is play Tears of the Kingdom. It is so good. I've never cared about a Zelda game like this. Never cared. This one, I love.
That's awesome.
I'm looking up merch. I'm wanting to find a little tunic thing to wear so I can look like Link around the house while I play. So, yeah, big fan.
That's awesome. I love
10 out of 10.
One of the things I love about gaming is that exact feeling that you were talking about, that like I remember feeling as like a kid, and like there's some games still that make me feel that way, where I just am itching and want to get back home and like play and just like do nothing but that. Like literally no sleep, like just stay up all night.
I was telling you earlier, like I usually don't like to play games. Like, sometimes I'll go into work a little later and I just normally don't play games before I have
Gotta
a
get a
shift
certain
that I need to get.
mindset.
Like, yeah, like I don't like to it's almost like you can't eat the whole bag of candy. Like I don't want just a sample. I'm gonna eat the whole bag.
Yeah.
I can't control myself. So I normally don't play games before I go to work. I was playing this before work the other day. Like
Yeah.
just a few minutes just doing whatever. So that if for me that's a really big deal, and that's I should just say like this is a really fun game if I'm playing it before I have to go to work. So
a couple things in the chat. So thank you guys for being so active. Tegan Not Sarah also said, I hear you there. I enjoyed watching my partner play Breath of the Wild, and it was just good. Tegan Not Sarah also said, been seeing the insane amalgam.
where is it at? What?
Amalgam? Is that a typo? Creations. Brings a tear to my kingdom. We love that. Love a good pun.
That is probably the proper terminology for some of the things. I just call it my craft, my squish.
My crafter.
I don't know. I need to remember the terminology, but that sounds right. That is probably correct. I just don't know. But yes, there's Audrey's watching me play, and she is like dying laughing. It is so because I'm not. I'll also say this. I need to stream it. I need to set it up. I might figure out a way to get this the Switch up here so I can stream it because it's so entertaining. I'm such a derpy player. I'm not an engineer, so the things I'm building just don't make sense, and I just go for it. I'm doing stuff
That's
like
fun.
Audrey's just dying laughing watching me do some of this stuff. Like it's hilarious. So
I would love to see that.
I was speaking of that though. Like the reason why I just sort of I'm not great at it is because I'm just not used to playing the Switch with like the button layout with Zelda. It's a little backwards. I already play bumper jumper, which is like when I play Destiny, I jump with L1. Or maybe so I never can remember, but I use the bumpers to jump.
Oh,
so
I don't like
pressing it's like I can't even tell you. On a PlayStation controller, it's square or X. And I don't know. I don't know. Like I don't
it's
know.
A little
I don't
different.
know.
Yeah.
It's the wrong button when I play Zelda. It's the wrong button, so I keep doing when I think I'm jumping, I'm sprinting.
Yeah.
When I think I'm grabbing something, I'm jumping. Like it's a lot of that. It is really. That being said, it's really entertaining to watch me suck at this game. Okay,
that's always
I'm done
fun.
talking about Tears Kingdom. I'm done.
But yeah, basically they agree in the chat. Scribble Knots is underrated. It's a really fun. I've heard it compared by other people to this. But with that being said, is that kind of the main thing you want to talk about? Did you play anything else new? We need to give you guys a first impression of that. It's hot off the press right now. It's very popular.
Yeah, my bad. Yeah, and I'm sorry if I'm not following the agenda.
Oh,
Kayla gave me the agenda, but maybe I jumped the gun here. That's literally all I've been playing. Next week is the new season of Destiny, which looks really cool, actually.
You shared a lot about that.
Yeah, it's called Season of the Deep.
Ooh.
And I'm really excited because we used to be able to visit Titan in Destiny, and it's been a minute since we've been on Titan, but when you would land on that moon, Titan's a moon, I think Saturn, right?
That's
or
no
Jupiter.
Moon.
I can't remember. Where was I going with that? Oh, Titan. Oh, Titan's like it's ocean everywhere. The planet when you go to that planet Destiny or moon, when you land there, like it is just a lot of water. And I just remember when you could go there because they'll like retire certain areas, like you can't go back to Titan right now, but we're about to. But it was just ocean, and if you would look at some of the landscape, like out in the open, there's like this big monster like in the ocean on
spooky.
Titan. And the Season of the Deep, the poster for it, like the cover art is all these the guardians, and they have this really cool jellyfish armor. It's like underwater, like you're floating in water, and you're looking through like a window, and it's a big eyeball. So we get to see what that
creepy.
We get to see learn what the critter is on Titan.
Critter.
It's a moon of Jupiter. JK, it's Saturn. Thank you, Tegan, not Sarah 1. You're great. Thank you. Europa's Jupiter. Yes. Okay. I you could have told me any of those. I'm like, there are moons somewhere
A
around
moon
in outer space.
in the fake planet. Late from Lunch said you can remap your controller for your Switch if you wanted to.
I tried and it made it worse.
Oh.
Something happened and it was worse. I do not know how my brain works. It's broken. I should have never played Bumper Jumper during my Halo days because it has broke me so hard. It's I think I'm slowly getting used to it. So I think when I changed it the other night, like it was worse because I'm slowly learning what's right.
Yeah.
So I have to commit. Whatever I do, I've committed. I'm committed.
It can be jarring to switch between games. I'm kind of in that mode right now. A little bit of history on my experience with Zelda games is I don't have any. So I don't know why. Like growing up, that's something that I kind of like. I wasn't really involved in. Like I was definitely into like Mario and I was even into like Sega with Sonic. I loved the Sonic games growing up, but I never really played any of the Zelda games. So I've been seeing a lot and it seems like something I would like. I've been like, all of our friends are talking about it and I'm kind of getting FOMO and I'm like, oh, I really want to play it. And I was like, I really want to play this new one. Like, it's something new. I want to be able to talk about it on the podcast. Like, it sounds like something I would like. I heard a lot of people compare it to Scribblenauts, which is a game I really enjoyed and like makes me very nostalgic. So I was like talking to our friend group and they're like, oh, whoa, wait a second. They're like, and you told me like, hey, no, it's fine. You can skip Breath of the Wild. And I think that was kind of the general consensus is like, you could, but I kind of wanted to see if it was something that I would be like gameplay wise and like, story like that sort of thing, be interested in like the mechanics. So I borrowed Breath of the Wild from a friend and have been playing it and I love it. It is so much fun.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah, I love it. It's very addicting. Like it's very expansive. I tried to get some tips from some people like on like how to play in a way that like would be most enjoyable for me. And I got everything that you said earlier about how like you can take things from like multiple different angles. You can solve things many different ways. Because at first I like booted it up and I was like, okay, where do I go next? And I'm like thinking like very linear. And I've been told like that's not how you play these games. So yeah,
it's sort of it's cool because it sort of forces you to just be okay with going where the breath takes you.
Ooh.
Or the tears flow down your face. Just go that direction.
And it's a good exercise for me because I'm normally the kind of person who like mainlines games and like that's not really like
or has like a checklist.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Okay, I'm gonna do this first, like, and you're gonna find yourself just like, what's that over there? Like if you are easily distracted, you're never gonna beat this game. But like it is sort of cool just to like go on your own journey, see what you find, and just go with the flow.
And so basically, I think my plan is to kind of like play a little bit more of Breath of the Wild, and I don't think I'm gonna like finish it. I think I'm just gonna like play around with it and then go to Tears of the Kingdom.
Do it,
because I've heard it builds upon and I've heard like it's so much better. Like it really like expands upon that. So and I know like the general gist of like how the Zelda games usually are, like finding the princess, like all that. But I'm having a lot of fun. I think I'm not very far in. I've only played I'm barely scratched the surface. Another thing, I really loved Skyrim. I played so many hours of Skyrim and I actually heard it compared kind of like the general like way of Breath of the Wild. But I saw something, I don't remember where, I think it was maybe one of our friends that showed me the comparison of the Skyrim map to the Breath of the Wild map. It's like a fraction, like Skyrim's like a little blip on the Breath of the Wild map, which is like kind of crazy to think about, right?
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
That's what I saw. Now, this is not an official source. It was like a picture.
No, I trust you. I was just like, what?
Seems weird, right? I don't know.
It seems, I'm gonna look it up.
Yeah. Let me know what you find because that's what they showed me. And I was like, what? Oh my gosh. Velos PI in the chat said it'll be hard to resist going to Tears of the Kingdom now, but you could always just get the Breath of the Wild expansion and then Age of Calamity. Good call. I might do that. But yeah, so I really enjoyed Skyrim. I played a lot of that and mainly like that was one of the games where I didn't really like finish. I mean, I finished, but like I did all of the like things like I spent a lot of time just exploring. So I'm happy and excited to get back to that kind of game. I haven't played that kind of game in a while. But then I'm still playing a totally different vein. Did you find that what I was talking about? No.
No, because I can't type.
Oh, it's fine. And then the only other thing I'm playing is I'm still playing Resident Evil for remake, and it's really fun, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. Totally like opposite of like Breath of the Wild, which is really funny. So yeah, I've been having a lot of fun with that. I think I'm close-ish to being done. It's scary. Really scary. Not as scary to me so far as like Village. Village was pretty scary to me. But still like creepy, culty, weird. I like that you have what's her name? Ashley with you, and how it's like there's some dual things that you can do that are fun. So a lot of great things. Whenever I finish that, I would love to talk more, maybe do like a little spoiler cast or something. Because I have a lot to say about it. But I'll say it because I
love the dialogue between them.
It's so silly.
Goofy.
It's so goofy, but that it's very like branded Resident Evil. Like
yes,
those are another like kind of games. Like I'm only recent to the franchise as well. You know, like I've talked about it on the podcast before. Like I played 7 and 8, and then I'm playing this one, and that's all I've played. So yeah, that's really all I've been playing aside from my usual. You know, we got some Overwatch news we'll talk about in a second, briefly, and then I also have been playing like. I played some Fall Guys the other day for the first time in a while. Streamed it. If you guys were able to watch that, I'm so bad at it, but it's funny and fun. It's one of those things.
I haven't played that in so long, so I'm sure there's like lots of stuff that's been added. Like,
there's lots of new stuff. They added some new maps that are cool, and just some other like random stuff. It's just fun, like to play with friends and be silly, and I think it's funny to watch. But yeah, that's all I've been playing. We can go ahead and move into a little bit of news, just a couple things. Let's get into that.
I'm gonna be really lame. I have to pee so bad. It's because I keep drinking the green tea. So I'm just gonna be like, my bathroom's literally to the right. You won't hear me go.
Oh, okay,
but I'll be
that's
back
good.
in like 30 seconds.
Turn on your exhaust fan like we were talking about earlier.
Oh yeah, just shoot the baby birds outside.
I'm
just kidding. It's a different bathroom. Or no, I know what now when I hear the bathroom vent, I think about the baby birds, but I totally forgot. Yeah. Okay, I'll be back.
I'm gonna ramble about Overwatch while you're gone.
Okay, perfect.
So, if you guys have been on Twitter at all, and you're on any side of gaming Twitter, I hope we hear those meat birds. You've probably seen what's going on in the Overwatch community right now. I am somebody who's enjoyed playing Overwatch 2. I think it's fun. I think it's really fun with friends. You know, there was a lot of debate and like conversations around like, why is there a second game being made when it's really just the same game? You know, they kind of retired the original game and now it's just Overwatch 2. What does the 2 mean? They made a lot of changes that I think were good, but now there's a couple of things that are interesting choices and things that have been said. I'm reading this article from GameSpot by Timur Hussain from May 16th, so a couple days ago. So they essentially had like a press like conversation with the game director Aaron Keller and executive producer Jared Neuse on why they'll no longer be releasing the PvE hero mode. So that is the one thing that I was most excited for, was the hero mode. Yeah, good thing I did not invest in Overwatch 2. I had some really great times with the squad in Overwatch 1 and 2, but I was really anticipating the PvE. Yeah, it's really upsetting. And so kind of some details, and like there's been a couple different things talked about in this article. Specifically, they talk about like what is happening and what's not happening. Let me brief Jerica when she gets on.
Can't hear anything yet.
Oh. So we were just going ahead and talking about the Overwatch news and the kind of back and forth and the sadness that is they have officially canceled the PvE hero mode. There's still some stuff happening, but that it's really unfortunate because that's what I was looking forward to the most. That's the thing that was really going to be like Overwatch 2, like what really propelled the franchise like forward. So GameSpot is interviewing the director, And essentially, the GameSpot says the big talking point is the direction you're now taking with the PvE, that you basically aren't doing it. Is that the correct way to characterize it? It's not happening anymore, and you've pivoted away from it? Question mark. Aaron Keller said, I think I would characterize it slightly differently. And it seems very like strategic in the way they're talking about this. It's interesting. Which we are doing part of what the team is set out to do, but not the entirety of what was discussed back at BlizzCon 2019, which, by the way, that's where they announced the future of Overwatch and Overwatch 2. So the real focus is the story missions that and that experience as opposed to the more open-ended hero mode and that stuff. So, right. So it's fair to say the experience that you showed during the first Overwatch 2 reveal is not going to be the one that will be released at any point. And Aaron Keller, the director, said, yeah, exactly. So we're definitely not doing the hero mode and the talents, that power progression system that we showed, that sucks. Like, it just sucks. Like, that they're not doing that anymore. They're doing some stuff, which I'll elaborate on. So they've been kind of like, they released that interview with GameSpot, but on Twitter, they've been kind of like not really addressing that. But they have talked about like what the future kind of looks like. Like, they tweeted this tweet for the roadmap for season 5, season 6, and then kind of onward. So there are going to be story missions, but it just looks different than they originally said that it was going to look. Like, it's not really hero focused. It's kind of just going to be like the PvE that they mentioned, just not like, it's not going to be like like an RPG essentially. But they're still moving forward. They're still making changes. I think they're just kind of like retracting some of the original statements that they had.
That's
so
lame.
We'll see. I'm still hopeful. Tegan Not Sarah says, I couldn't wait to see the talent trees, Maze, Giant, Rolling Snowball, and stuff. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like they were really far along in some of those things, and they literally said like the power progression system is not happening, which they showed in their original in BlizzCon. So we'll see what happens from here on out. I'm not looking forward to missing out on some of those things, but hopefully I've already, purchased the game. We'll see what happens.
Are you still enjoying? Like, do you play pretty often? I can't remember. Like,
yes, I would say I play like a couple times a week. I would say with friends. It really just depends on who I can play with. I never really play by myself. To me, it's something that's definitely more fun with friends and like as like a community thing. But I'm still enjoying it. It just still feels like just Overwatch, like the first one, with some like enhancements, some new heroes. Some of the new heroes are really fun. I stream it every now and then, but yeah. So that's a little unfortunate. But some fortunate news is, and I don't have much details on it because there's really not like a ton to discuss, but it's always fun when they do the Wholesome Direct, which is an indie game showcase that is coming on June 10th. I always find some really cute games, like unique games through this thing. So I definitely encourage you guys to watch that if you're looking for some unique games to play that are coming out. And it always gives them like a lot of good traction because it's usually like very small developers and like, very like niche things that I always find really interesting.
There's always you always will have the game that you're just like, that's so simple or like just so like you said, like niche, and it's gonna be the most addicting thing and something you just can't put down.
Yeah, I love that. So yeah, that's June 10th.
There's always good stuff out of that stream.
For sure. One thing I did want to talk to Jerica about, and really there's not much to talk about because we really don't know what's going on still, but our resident Kojima expert, Jerica.
Yes.
What the heck is happening?
I will say this, you ask, hey, what's he up to? I'm going to go and preface this. He's always trying to mess with us. Like, he's always trying to get us to take the bait. He wants us to keep engaging and questioning everything he does. And he might not be actually doing the things. He just likes to mess with his fans. He's a funny guy. He's very, he's a little trickster.
He likes to mess with us. Yeah, he's a little punk, honestly.
He is.
So what we're referring to, if you haven't seen it, is a tweet that he tweeted. That was a screenshot.
Maybe I can pull it up. Let's see.
A screenshot of...
Let me pull it up.
a Twitter account.
What's the name of the movie?
Poor Things Film.
I watched the trailer for that, and it looks really weird. And I'm like, yeah, Kojima probably likes this.
Did he make this?
No, he didn't. I don't think he. I think he's just. What I think is happening. He's talking about it, but the font of the title of the movie, the font that's used, looks. I wouldn't say identical because I'm sure it's a little different, but it looks eerily similar to like Death Stranding, PT. That's Poor Things, PT.
Yeah, and one of the pictures in the tweet is just the like logo that says PT on it.
Yeah, let's see if I can find
starring Emma Stone, Mark Ruffalo, William Dafoe. So like very well-renowned actors coming out September 8th.
What did he tweet? He was just
nothing. He didn't say anything. He just
tweeted the pictures in there.
That's it,
right?
Yeah, he didn't say anything though.
Had no comment.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, if you go to Twitter and look up Poor Things Kojima PT, he was like, because their like Twitter account, like their like account photo is just PT, and it's the font is eerily similar. I don't understand what's happening.
He's probably just trolling,
He's just messing with us, but like, why even mention something that we all will freak out about if you say those words?
Well, he's also a big movie buff. Like, he really likes film, so maybe, I don't know.
Maybe he's like, oh, this is funny. Look, it looks like PT. I'm going to share this. But why? Anything that he shares, we're like, is it real? Like, I'm going to question it all.
I saw it and immediately thought like, oh, like there's a PT film coming out or something.
I'm not even, okay, I finally dug myself out of that hole, which is called Conspiracy Kojima Research.
Jerica is what somebody said in the chat.
Jerica. And I went down a rabbit hole, and I'm not going to do that again. Even though it's really tempting. There's definitely some... Is there more to it? I don't know. I'm going to leave it as is. I'm not going to dig into it, because I might be up all night reading theories. And then get my, my feelings hurt.
Well, let us know in the chat what you think, and then we'll read them.
The movie trailer's really weird, but I'll watch it because I love weird movies. I mean, that's why I like Kojima. He's a weird guy, creative guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
well, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our expert mode. Beep beep beep. Interview Jerica about
what?
Not really an interview, but I am curious.
I'm ready.
We'll read you guys' responses. You guys. Responses first, because we're going to talk about the PlayStation Showcase that's happening soon. The last one was 2021, which is crazy that it was that long ago. But what are you guys excited for? Let's take a look. Oh, well, when's the date, Jerica? Share the date that it is.
It is going to be May 24th. It's a Wednesday next week. And I think the time for it, I think it's 12 Pacific time. So, do your own clock math. I don't know what time that is in your neck of the woods, but there you go.
Let's see. So a couple of things, and honestly, a lot of y'all's responses, specifically on Instagram, are exactly what I am hoping for. Play along.
Solid remake. Yeah. That's yeah.
I saw that in the chat from Late from Lunch. Thank you. Play Along Pod said, "Show me Spider-Man" in all caps. Surely we have to, right?
Yes,
we got to.
Yes.
By H. Greg 52, we have Wolverine. Also, really want to see some. Let's represent these Marvel things. And then from P. Schwag, we have Spider-Man 2, Ghost of Tsushima 2, and anything with the 2 is what he said. So
or put a 3 on it, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
And then a couple from Twitter, just really quick. We have some lovely people that have responded there. If I can get there, hold on. I had Instagram pulled up. I don't have a favorite child, but I am on Instagram more than Twitter. I'll just be honest.
Yeah.
So
Well, if anything, she's definitely the more sociable critter in this podcast here. So
I
yeah.
do my best. Pops Arcade said Sonic 2006 remake.
What game was that? What? Hold on. What? From what year?
2006?
Oh, okay. Yes, that's what I saw and heard. Yep, I had the I never played that one.
I didn't either.
Never played it. But the art is in my head.
Yes. Chad Michael Ennis, one of our friends from Respawn Aim Fire, in the chat said, or in the Twitter said, Blue Point's next project, Metal Gear Solid ?
Seems to be a popular rumor.
It does. Also, we have at Color of Gray, anything from Brilliant PSVR 1 catalog coming to PSVR 2, including 360 YouTube video and Netflix. That's a good idea. Let's see if that happens. I think it's likely, I'm sure.
I keep forgetting about PlayStation VR and VR 2. Like, there's hopefully some. I hope we get Beat Saber. I've been dying to play Beat Saber.
That's
like,
not
when's
on
that
PSVR 2?
No, it's not. Like, what the heck? I just assumed it was going to be there. And now I'm like, I guess I'll plug up my place. I guess I can't sell on the PlayStation VR because I want to Beat Saber it up.
Yeah.
I can't on the new
one.
one.
I didn't even realize. I also just assumed.
It's a big bummer.
Vilos PI said, I keep forgetting KOTOR remake is still kind of around.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that too. Knights of the Old
been
Republic.
Quiet.
Well, I think they made it a statement that they were pausing production.
What was that?
What were you saying?
Nothing. Just keep going. Sorry. I went into my typing matrix mode again.
New matrix side, little numbers go in mine. Late from Lunch said, I'm really hoping for Gran Turismo 7 PC port. Possible. Who knows? Valis PI said, how much time is going to be spent on the Twisted Metal show and Gran Turismo movie trailers? Well, speaking of trailers, maybe we get a teaser for Last of Us Season 2. Or not even a teaser, maybe like a date. Maybe.
I don't think that's gonna. So also, I mean, I know we're a video game podcast, but occasionally I dwindle into other news, and right now with the writer's strike seems to be a focus, and hopefully they get what they need, but it is impacting some creative things in that world.
Yeah,
so
for sure, especially adaptations.
We probably should. I've already come to terms with it's probably not going to be a next year thing right now. So, but I hope those writers get what they need, because without the great writers, we wouldn't have the great content. Get the AI out of here.
Yeah.
Don't trust them. Are we AI? Do I know? Is an AI in me right now? I don't know.
Is it in the room with us right now?
AI. It wouldn't say, because it would be so smart. It wouldn't say that it's here.
That's a good point.
I'm scared.
Me too. So some other things that we basically covered everything that was shown at the last PlayStation showcase. Jerica, I would love to know some of your predictions. I know you always have really good, like, detailed predictions that sometimes come true. So I'd love to hear some of your thoughts.
I'm not as confident as I once was. Am I getting older? I think so. There's a few gray I can't talk. Few gray hairs here. Hairs got real country there. There's a few gray hairs here. You know, I'm starting to lose my edge, but maybe I can be a little bit more spot on with more quality over quantity here, which is fine. Mm-hmm. So obviously, this thing's going to kick off. I think they will kick off with Spider-Man.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that's a easy one that they'll be able to start with. Get us out. I can't. I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Just get us ready.
Get us webbed up.
It's going to help us put chapstick on our lips. If your lips are dry, they're about to get moisturized. Okay, and that's what Spider-Man's going to do for us. Probably see a little bit of a game.
Say. Ew.
Yeah. moist. We're just gonna get moist here, okay? We're gonna see some Spider-Man.
We're just
We're
gonna
gonna see
dive
some
right in.
gameplay. Gonna see Miles, and I'm sure there's a new part of a trailer that we'll see that will detail some of the story and what direction that's going. Which will be exciting to see. Hopefully, get the release date for that, like the solidified release date for later this year. And another no-brainer, hopefully, Neil Druckmann said it himself last year, like during the last summer showcase last year when, The Last of Us remake was unveiled for the first time, that we will, also we're getting the multiplayer project they've been working on.
Yeah.
And we should get more info. I forget if it was that event, but he said it soon, like next year, soon. It's coming. The information, you'll see it soon.
Didn't you predict end of the year?
I'm hoping the game comes out this year. I'm hoping it's out this year. If not, it'd be early next year. But I think we'll get our first look. We will get our first look at the Last of Us. It's factions, but it's turned into its own big thing, its own big game. So the new Last of Us multiplayer game, see some gameplay of that. I'm really interested to see, obviously, gameplay and what this game's going to be about. But I just imagine. I love Destiny. I played The Division. Like, I compare a Division to what this Last of Us game could be, but in the world and the gameplay and the mechanics of Last of Us, but like how me and you could play.
Yeah.
Like, imagine me and you playing and making our own characters or whatnot, and then like the amazing storytelling that will come from Naughty Dog with.
Yeah.
I just imagine like Destiny has. It's got its strong points. But it's not the super strongest with story. It's okay. But I just imagine super addicting, multiplayer, fun with my friends.
Yeah.
Grinding it out, leveling up together, but with an amazing story. In The Last of Us is just like a dream come true. And I think it's gonna wait to see I can't wait to see what it's all about. So we're gonna hopefully, I think those would be definitely the two things we will see without a doubt. Then obviously, we'll see some VR2 stuff. I have no predictions there. I have no idea. I know Sony has acquired, has all these in-house studios now that I'm sure they're working on PlayStation VR projects, VR2 projects now. So I can't wait to see what other games get VR modes or VR games. Horizon had Call of the Mountain VR, which it's okay. I didn't beat it. It was okay. It wasn't like I just wanted a little bit better story with it, but the gameplay and the fun that I had with it was a good VR experience. But it would be cool to see, like, I'm not saying Naughty Dog would have a VR experience, but like Insomniac or some other Santa Monica, like, is there another first party studio that has a VR game?
Yeah, that's a good point.
What else? Third party stuff. I know I asked you to sort of help us go back in time, and I was like, what was announced at the last showcase? And because like in the year 2021, right? That was
back
the year.
In the day.
Let's go back.
Still COVID-y.
We had still a little COVID-y, but we had some PlayStation business. So they obviously announced the PlayStation 5, and there was a few things detailed there that were announced. Like I had one of the things that I think you brought up was Pragmata. I don't think we've seen much of that. I think that's Capcom's game that's going to be a
Final
PlayStation
Fantasy?
Exclusive. When I saw the trailer for Pragmata the first time, I thought it was like Kojima.
Yeah.
Because there's like spacey things, a child city. It looked a little wild. It looked very Kojima-esque, but it's
interested.
Capcom. What else? What did you say?
Final Fantasy 16?
Final Fantasy 16? I don't know if we'll see more of that because it is coming out fairly soon. I think because I think they have a state of play for that recently.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, they did.
I forgot it, but I think I'm remembering that right.
I think so. Yeah.
I really hope. But speaking to Final Fantasy, I want to see more of Final Fantasy 7, Part 2, Rebirth, whatever it's being called. So the next chapter in Resident Evil 7.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, because that's going to be, I think, a trilogy. I think I remember reading that.
Oh, I'd be so down for that. I hope so. A couple other things in the chat. So Vilas PI said, really wish Infamous or Killzone would return. Tegan, not Sarah, said Killzone would be cool. Maybe crossover DLC with Horizon. Interesting. Late from lunch is mentioned in Silent Hill. Silent Hill. Throwing it out there. You put it in our fantasy league, didn't you?
Did you pull it? Well, I feel like I do that every year.
You do.
And it wouldn't surprise me if I did it again, like a dummy.
Yeah.
Just a big dummy.
Violet's PI said, gotta see more Stellar Blade. Don't know what that is. Do you know what Stellar Blade is?
No, but I might. Let me hold on here. Hold on.
I looked up Pragmata and I remember it, and I'm like, that's actually Stellar Blade, a Korean studio. Upcoming action adventure game developed by Korean studio Shift Up and set to be released by publisher Sony in 2023. Looks interesting. I don't remember seeing anything about this actually, but I would be down for that. Show us that. Show us. We'd love to see it. What about, so I know you mentioned the Last of Us multiplayer game, Factions-esque. What about Last of Us Part 3? Do we get like a,
here we go. Let's skip to the possibilities. We have other things. There's more stuff I want to talk about, obviously. There's lots of...
Wolverine, we forgot to mention that.
Supposedly, this is over an hour, which is insane. It's insane. I feel like one of the showcases from 2021 was around the same time. And I think that was the one that included the PlayStation, like actual announcement, like hardware announcement and stuff like that. So imagine now it's just dedicated to games. Mm-hmm. I could be wrong. There could be a PlayStation 5 Pro. Who knows? Like that's also a possibility here.
Yeah.
That's true. If it was dedicated to just games, like I am totally okay with that. But we'll go to so we started by like how the event's going to start. There's some stuff in the middle that I want to get to, but yeah, let's skip to the end. What could be the last things, right? So a couple of big things. We haven't seen Wolverine gameplay. Insomniac's other, project they're working on. We just saw a teaser, but we haven't seen any gameplay or what that is going to look like. So that could be the one. That could be the one more thing. I feel like also word on the street, Blue Point's next project, they're known now for remaking games on a stellar level, like pristine, best looking remakes I've ever seen in my life. So rumor on the street, Metal Gear Solid action somewhere. Ooh. Is it all of them? Is it the 1, 2? Is it Snake Eater? I'll say this, I am so excited for that because as a Kojima fan, I haven't really played a lot of Metal Gear Solid.
Neither have I, yeah.
Which I know sounds like, Jerica, how could you?
Jerica's like the biggest fan.
I've played them, but unfortunately, like at the time when they were out, like the first game came out on PlayStation. Like I was a dumb little kid. I didn't know about corporate espionage. What does he call it? Espionage, silent. There's a term that Kojima has also, the Strand game, he calls Metal Gear Solid a certain other type. There's a name for it. Mm-hmm. The first Metal Gear Solid game I actually played was Snake Eater, so the third one, and I played that and loved it. It was my first introduction to that series, and it was just so kooky and weird but really fun to play. So I was a fan. Like, great. Any of those games being remade would be awesome for me. Like, I would love to. I honestly hope I would like it to be the first game. I don't know if people agree with that, or I just really would like to actually play that in a
beautiful, like,
in a what's
engine.
The word? What's the word? No, like right now. New. What's another word for new?
Reimagined.
God, I'm so mad. That's not the word. I wish I could. Updated. There's another word for updated. What's another word for updated?
Improved.
No, it's close. Hold on. Let me pull out my thesaurus. Another word for updated. Modern. That's the word.
Modern.
I didn't have to look it up.
We made it.
I didn't have to.
We got it.
So good. Oh, God. Okay, I'm okay. I'm coming. I'm okay. And not that... we have a lot of fans out there. Also the Sony ponies.
Somebody said refurbished.
Refurbished. Yeah.
Sorry.
Refurbished. the other thing that the Sony fandom, really wants is Bloodborne. Whether that's a remake or a sequel, will that happen? I don't know, and I really hope. That's one of those moments, like, even when Final Fantasy VII Remake got announced for the first time, like, the people reacting to that, I was hyped. Because I know that's just one thing that people have been asking for eternity, was a Final Fantasy VII Remake. Like, just having Bloodborne 2 announced, or Bloodborne 2 would be the thing that I would just, like, would spend the rest of my time watching people react to it, because people are going to get so hyped if that happens. So that could possibly be the other one last thing. But I think, to... is it Velos? What did we say?
Velos PI, I think.
To their point, an updated version of Bloodborne would be a great thing. The game came out a long time ago.
I didn't play it.
It's still so relevant. You hear it in the streets all the time. People are still talking about it. Hear it out in the streets, out in the Twitter streets. People want to play that game. So that could be it. I'm thinking what the last things will be, though. I still think that some of that stuff I just mentioned could still be in the middle. Maybe, you get the hype level of the stuff we start with, seeing Spider-Man factions, and then you dip down. The stuff's still cool, but you got to show us something else to get us hyped up again.
Yeah.
The things we just mentioned could be the things that also get us hyped up again. But then, like, the one more thing, like last time it was God of War Ragnarok. We got that trailer for the first time.
Could there be a teaser for the next one? Maybe
God of War?
Yeah.
Nah.
Too early.
Well, but I'm glad you brought that up, Kayla.
Okay.
Because I think Late from Lunch mentioned that in the chat. Cory Barlog didn't work on Ragnarok. He probably had some things to say in it, but he's been on a secret project, Kayla. He's been working on something else the whole time.
Ooh,
so what is it?
What is it?
For a minute on Twitter, he had some space stuff on his Twitter account, okay? It was very spacey. So I also think that one more bookend to this showcase could be Santa Monica's new project, what Cory Barlog's been working on. It'd be interesting to see that. So another new thing from Santa Monica, the amazing people that gave us God of War, would be cool to see. Here's me being selfish. I'd like it to be Last of Us Part 3.
I would literally pass away
as well. If we
would die.
Maybe we get both of these things.
I'm greedy.
Now,
I'm greedy.
People are torn. The Twitter is torn. You got 50% of the I don't once again, clock math in general. I didn't do the research, but I feel like there's a good 50-50 people wanting either a new game from Naughty Dog or a Last of Us Part 3. Seems to be pretty. There's not one that's louder than the other. Maybe louder, but there seems like be an equal interest for both things. I'm selfish. I want Naughty Dog to follow their hopes and dreams and do what they do best and make the things they want to make. But I am greedy and I want Last of Us Part 3. So I envision. Do I know what the story is going to be about? I have no idea. I hope they have an idea. We've theorized, but like I just want a trailer, and I would love to play. I want it, Ellie's still the centerpiece. Maybe some other characters just have played part 2. There's a lot of things they could do. But I do want it to do I want another time jump. We talked about this before. I want another time jump with Ellie. And she's been all alone. Oh god, this might be spoilers. So if you've ever played part 2, come back in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But I think there would be a teaser. Ellie's a little bit older, and it will be so cool for me to play this game, and Ellie's like the same age as me.
Yeah.
Throwing my age out there, but I'd love I'd love her to be in her 30s, maybe early 40s. People might hate that, but I'd like for her to be a little older. And honestly, she's been on her own. She's got a dog, Kayla. Rumor was that she was supposed to have a dog companion in part 2.
Horse is good too.
Didn't happen. But it's just her and her dog. They're just out on their lonesome. And something happens to bring them back into society. But, I just want to see a trailer with her trying to play the guitar. She still can't. Or maybe she's figured out how to play with her toes.
Yeah. That would be like a little clip.
That was my joke. You didn't laugh.
Oh.
Imagine Ellie playing. That was the. I didn't know if you'd catch that. Playing with her toes, like the guitar's up here, and she's playing with her toes. 'Cause she's missing 2 fingers.
I was just in my head. I was just like really excited thinking about her walking around with her dog.
I got you so invested in this scene.
Like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I was like, yeah, she's just playing guitar with her toes.
I was like, yeah,
she's missing 2 fingers.
Yes.
So
sounds great.
I don't know.
Little
I would
clip.
love to see. I'd love to see it. Here's the thing: they announced part 2 5 years. It could have been 6 before it actually came out. So it's definitely, it could happen.
It could. I think that it's definitely plausible to give us like a little like clip and then like maybe like zoomed in of her just like trying to strum like you talked about, like maybe with like you know, like, and
her
then
toes.
it like pans and it's
I'm just
like
kidding.
yeah, you just see. No, I'm not revealing my feet
Like-
on the screen, but you know,
yeah,
like
you'll
you
show
just-
up on Wiki Feet if you do that. People start rating your feet.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
But
Y'all can you know.
so 50-50 shot, we get Last of Us Part 3 trailer, but the other 50%, it's Naughty Dog's new game.
Yeah.
And it's not Last of Us. It's a brand new rumor on the street with that is some fantasy story. So, which also sounds really, really interesting. And do I want Last of Us a little bit more right now? Yeah, I do. But I'm fine with it. I just really want to like play. If there is a Last of Us game, I just so you know it's coming, so I can just like quit thinking about it. Like, if I'm not gonna play and know what happens to Ellie next, I just need to know it now. Please tell me now. So, anywho,
I agree. I do feel like, will they give us both though? Will they give us like the Last of Us multiplayer, like faction reveal, like thing, and Last of Us Part 3? I don't know. To me, it seems a little unlikely that we get both.
You're right. I think you're correct there.
But we can hope.
We can hope.
I hope.
We're getting one of those things.
Yeah.
Or it's Ghost of Tsushima too. Like, it could be that. Yeah. Like, that is also a possibility. There's a lot. That's why this showcase is one I really can't predict, because it could be so many things, which is a good problem to have for Sony right now. Like, literally, I don't know if they're going to be able to jam all these games into the PlayStation 5 life cycle. Like, there's probably so many things that can happen.
Yeah.
So every year we're gonna have good games, which is really cool.
There's a lot coming.
We forgot something.
What did we forget?
Death Stranding 2.
Oh yeah, we did. Oh yeah. We were talking about Kojima though.
Yeah, Kojima. So like, will we see more Death Stranding, or is that just him and Jeff Keighley's sort of thing? Like, he's waiting to show it at Game Awards again. Do we get another trailer?
So, yeah.
Another weird trailer where nothing makes sense, but I'm sold anyways because my hat just did that.
Oh, whoa, that was scary. Oh, that's Kojima. I could see, here's what I could see. I could see we get maybe a little bit more, and we get Kojima just like on stage talking about it, like just like with his translator, just like, talking a little bit about it.
Yeah, he's like, let me show you the next Death Stranding. Well, also forgot to mention this. DS2 is the like fill-in title. I think like it's not necessarily called Death Stranding 2. It could have a completely different title.
Oh, that's a good point.
Might not even be called Death Stranding.
Maybe we just get a title reveal, maybe, or something.
Maybe it's Death Longing, Death Loving, which
Dirty Socks.
Weird.
DS. Dirty Socks 2. Yeah.
It's got to have Strand in there because it's a Strand game.
Yeah,
unless it's evolved and it's not a Strand game. What's a whole other kind of game now? Strand is in Destiny, so Kojima's probably like, it's getting too strandy here.
Too stringy. I don't know. I think that is definitely possible. You could be right though with how he's like buddy with Jeff Keighley. Like, they could be waiting and just do it there. But you never know. Like, we could get something small, like, or not small, but like just a little title reveal or something. I think that it would be Death Surviving.
Death Surviving, yes.
Yeah. I think that we could definitely get that. Maybe. I think they end with something big though. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully. We'll definitely be back with our full thoughts. I can't see that because... Oh, what did Late from Lunch say?
Norman Reedus Doofus stranded.
Why is doofus blocked out on my Twitch?
Does it think it's a bad word?
It does, I guess.
Oh,
that's
maybe
funny.
it is. Something else I forgot.
Uh-oh.
Ooh. And it's only because of like I brought out the VR1 recently because there's an amazing game on there called Astrobot's Rescue Mission, and it was so far one of my favorite VR games. And then obviously if you got PS5, you got to play Astrobot. Is it Playroom? Astrobot's Playroom?
Yeah, Astro's Playroom.
Which amazing experience. So, I'm still, where's Astrobot? I'm ready for him to come back. I've been wanting the Playroom game was so good. Like
it was.
It could be a standalone thing that I'd pay money for.
Yeah.
If it's a full-blown experience. Like I'd pay more to play more. Pay
more to play more, baby.
That's
microtransactions.
Didn't mean it. Didn't mean that.
Oh.
I would pay to play. God, I'm still doing it. Astrobot. More Astrobot projects. So
Team Asabi has said their next game is a AAA project.
So Astrobot, yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
I want more Astrobot. Like he needs to stay.
Aw, I like him. He's cute. I
Cute.
really enjoy the Astro's Playroom. I think that's really it. I mean, we could talk for days. There's so many, like, there's the future of gaming is bright. The future of Sony ponies is bright.
Great. Nay.
Well, definitely check back. We will be back to talk about what actually was released. What I'm gonna be taking notes. I'm gonna flip my notepad out. Thankfully, never mind. I'm not gonna be able to sit at home and watch it, but it's okay. It's fine. We'll figure it out. Me and Jerica. We'll just be like,
yeah. There's a chance we won't be able to watch it live, which is a first for me. So
That's
I'm
upsetting.
literally not even gonna touch or look at my phone. I'm just gonna go straight home and digest
Nays in
the
chat.
info.
Thank you. Nays in chat. Thank you guys so much for watching and engaging with us live. We really appreciate it. We will catch you guys next time.
And I hope next week we can just confirm that Ellie's playing the guitar with her toes.
Yes! Yes! Give me that. Okay, bye.
Bye.